Now today, many will be processing yesterday's violent attack at FSU and the reality that there was yet another mass shooting on a school campus in America. And joining us this morning to share advice on how to talk about this traumatic event, specifically when it comes to kids, is David Schonfeld. He's the director at the National Center for School Crisis and Bereavement. Dr. Schonfeld, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us about such an important topic today. We appreciate it. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, the FSU campus and the situation that unfolded there yesterday can lead to some pretty difficult conversations for parents and their children. So what is your advice when it comes to approaching this pretty tough subject?
So the first thing is to talk with your children about what happened. I usually start with asking them if they've already heard about something, and if they have, what they have heard and what feelings they have about that. And then guide your discussion based on what they already know, what they misunderstand, and what feelings they have that are bothering them.
And so what are some of the best ways to start that conversation? I know you mentioned asking them if they've heard about it. How can you push it along further? Because it's so delicate, so sensitive. You want to say the right thing as a parent.
Right. Well, the most important message you're trying to communicate to your children is that you are there as a source of accurate information and as a source of support for them. So I started by asking them to be quite honest. Children often find out about this before the adults do because of their connection with social media. So you can ask them what they've heard is the first step. And then give them a brief discussion of what you know has happened without going into elaborate detail, without giving them sensitizing information, just the basic facts, and then help them understand how that is relevant to them and those they care about.
And let's talk about that a little bit, because how much as a parent should you tell your kid? You're having this discussion now. Where are some of the boundaries that you should follow when it comes to having this talk?
Well, first off, graphic information about how people were killed or about some of the terror they experienced at the time is not relevant to other children in the public. So I would make sure that you minimize the amount of very upsetting information that is shared with them, but instead focus kind of on factual information. There was a shooting that happened at a college. The college is located here. How does that relate to where they live? So if you're talking to a 4-year-old, they may think the university means the one right near them. And so you would clarify the distance involved. You would also let them know that the shooter was apprehended and no longer can hurt anyone else. Now, when you're talking with older children, they'll want and deserve more information and can process that. So they may want to know, what does this relate to me when I'm in high school? Or what should I think about when I'm going to college? So it really depends on the age of the child and also their personality. Some kids do better when they have a lot of information, and some kids just get more sensitized and anxious and upset. So I would start out, though, with anyone, even adults, with very simple, basic information so they understand what has occurred and what they should be doing themselves.
Okay, Dr. Schonfeld, thank you so much. I know this is a conversation a lot of parents dread, so all these tips are very helpful. We thank you so much for joining us this morning.